Hi, welcome to Centerville Reports Today. I'm Maureen Russell Hodson. 'Tis the season. We're all out shopping, running around, taking care of errands, but are we being careful? Are we aware of what's going on around us? Here to tell us more about how to keep safe, not only during the holiday season, but year-round, is Officer John Davis. Hi, John.
Hello, Maureen. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I know that we talk about this really every time you come on, but this is so important that people are always aware of what's happening, especially now, given the times.
Right. This knows no season. I mean, This is something that you'll always need to be aware of, what's going on around you. But this time of year, people tend to be much more distracted, much more driven, I guess, if they go out shopping and if they're out and about. There's so many distractions, whether it be decorations or just the sheer crowds. It's really important to stop for a moment and think about what you're doing and take a look at your surroundings. Make sure you're not putting yourself in a bad situation.
Well, let's talk about shopping. So if you're out shopping, you don't want to be carrying a bunch of bags with you from store to store, right?
Right. Well, I guess where I would start is I would tell people, if you're going to go out shopping, have a plan. Don't just kind of willy-nilly by the seat of your pants type thing. If you can, go shopping with someone else. There's always safety in numbers.
No matter what time of day.
No matter what time of day.
Always, yeah.
Certainly at night, but any time of day, two people are much less likely to become the victim of someone rather than one. But kind of pre-plan what you're planning to do. Make sure someone knows that you're out and about and where you're going. As you arrive, kind of pre-plan. If you know you're going to arrive and it's daylight when you get there, we all know it gets dark at 5:30 now.
Right.
If you arrive at the mall at 4 o'clock, knowing that you're not going to be gone till 7 or 8, make sure you know that the area is going to be lit where you come back out. If you don't feel right, if you don't feel safe or something doesn't feel right, go back in, ask a sales associate or get security to come escort you to your vehicle.
And absolutely, there's nothing wrong with asking that because they are prepared to do that, right?
That's exactly what they're there for, and that's what they want you to do. But if you're going to go out to the car and you're not going to use someone to escort you, don't be loaded down with 10 or 11 bags that you can't handle. Make sure you have your keys out already.
Don't be fishing for your keys, which is something I always have to do.
Have your keys out and be ready to get in the vehicle when you get there. Those are things that are just going to expedite. Walk with confidence. If someone tries to approach you, just keep moving. Just if they're trying to ask you a question, say, "I'm sorry, I can't. I don't have time for that," or whatever you want to tell them. But don't let them distract you from what your goal is to get in your vehicle and leave safely.
Because that could also be part of a scam, so to speak. If one person's distracting you, somebody else might be in a team or something, right?
Oh, there's teams out there, but then they're not necessarily looking to, your safety is in distance. If you keep distance from someone, there's a measure of safety there.
Okay.
But what they do is they use distractions to move in closer. And at that point, they may try to grab a purse, they may try to grab the bags you're carrying. Any number of things can go on. So we tell people, make sure that you're not allowing those people to distract you and just keep moving. Don't allow them.
Stay focused on your shopping, get to your car and get in and...
Yeah. One of the best things that I can tell, at least for the ladies as they're shopping, is if you can, leave your purse at home. Don't even take it with you. If you take your ID, any credit cards you anticipate, a small amount of cash. I tell people to avoid carrying large amounts of cash. Don't wear a lot of flashy jewelry. Wear comfortable clothes. Wear something sensible that you're going to walk around in. Don't go out into the mall in a pair of 5-inch heels. These are all things that will make you more vulnerable, and these are things that people are looking for. So just be prepared, and that's where I come back to that. Have a little bit of planning ahead of time to know what you're going to do and how you're going to accomplish it.
And then speaking about being aware of your surroundings, even if you're not directly involved in something, if you see something that looks unusual, if you see someone approaching someone else that might look like a scary situation, obviously you shouldn't approach the person, but you should definitely call 911, right?
You can call 911. You can notify your local police department. You can notify, if you're in an area, say, and you're in a mall, notify mall security. The big thing is to say something. You hear it day in and day out. See something, say something. That applies to someone trying to steal, but it also, there's a measure, we've seen the world events that are going on right now. We need people, we depend upon people to tell us the unusual things, the suspicious activity that they see going on so that we can be ahead of the curve. Oftentimes you find out later that people saw things and they didn't report it, that we might have been able to at least prevent something from occurring just by being there. So we need people, we depend upon people to let us know what they see and what's going on around them.
And it really is that little voice inside you that just kind of tells you that doesn't look right or that doesn't feel right, and that's when you should be notifying someone.
Right, and that's one of the fights that we have all the time, is to convince people that it's not a bother. That's what we need them to do. They tend to rationalize it away. They don't want to be a bother, all those things, and we've done this show before.
We always say you're open 24 hours a day, you're open 7 days a week.
But we really depend upon the public. I mean, they are our eyes and ears. I'd love to say that we go out and catch criminals every day just on our own, but we really don't. Probably 90% of the criminals that we catch are through alert citizens that are reporting activity to us, and that's how we're catching these people. It's not like you see on TV. That's why we really need people to call us when they see something unusual. This shopping season especially, we know that these threats have been made, these things have been, we don't know when or what or if they're going to do anything, but we need the public to be aware. You need to be aware of your surroundings. You need to be in charge of your own safety. You can't be dependent upon the police or security. You have to take some of that responsibility upon yourself as well. And that comes back to having a plan. Don't get caught up. Don't be talking on your phone. Don't be texting. That's probably the worst thing. Even worse than talking is the texting, because all your attention is focused on the phone. You're watching your text. Usually both hands are on the phone. I mean, those are things that are really tough. We try to get people to maybe keep that phone in your pocket. We want you to have that phone with you because it's important, but we don't want you to allow that phone to be a distraction.
And the good takeaway there is have a plan. And anytime you go shopping, it's good to have a plan, because if you plan to go to stores, if you have coupons or discounts or something, you can have all that ready before you leave your home.
Right. Don't leave ladies, don't leave your purses sitting on a display or in a cart.
Which I see all the time.
Or how many times do you see someone go into a fitting room, try something on, and walk out to say, hey, how does this look? And they've left their purse or their wallet, all of their worldly belongings inside the fitting room where no one's there. These people are looking for those things. This time of year, it's a target-rich environment for them. So there are going to be criminals out there looking to commit bad acts, and we just need to make sure that we don't give them the opportunity.
And if you're making multiple stops along the way, then you need to make sure that all of the things in your car are well hidden.
Lock it, don't leave it applies year-round, especially this time of year. When you're parking your vehicle, make sure you lock it. Don't leave any valuables inside of it. If you're going to use your vehicle to maybe put packages in, make sure they're out of sight. One thing to consider is it's a minor inconvenience, but if you're going to carry out 6 or 8 bags of expensive items and you're going to put them in your trunk of your car, who's watching you do that? There's no way of knowing.
Right.
So one of the things that we try to encourage people to do is if you do that, get in your car and move it to another parking space. At least then they don't know which car that is. They don't realize. It's the same thing with ladies when they leave their purses in the car. You don't want to arrive at the mall, get out, open the trunk, put your purse in there, because there are people that are going to be sitting and watching. And if they see you go into the mall.
So even before you go in. Yeah.
So there comes back to the planning. If you have to take that purse with you, put it somewhere out of sight before you get there. Don't let someone see you put it there. And it's the same thing with the packages and things of that nature. We just don't want to draw attention to ourselves. We don't want to make it easy for them.
Also during this time of year, you might get a phone call. I mean, we talk about phone scams a lot, usually every time you're on, but it seems like right now it's happening, it's on the increase as IRS calls, right?
As we speak, we are being inundated, and not just Centerville, but the entire area is being inundated with this new scam, U.S. Treasury. They're saying that a gentleman by the name of David Gray is calling, and you owe money, and there's warrants for your arrest and things like that. Understand that the IRS, the U.S. Treasury, the federal government does not operate that way. They are not going to call and demand or try to scare information out of or money out of the public. Anytime you get a phone call like that, the first thing you do is don't give them any information.
Yeah. Ever. Don't give information like that.
Even though we've had some people tell us that they knew their address, they knew their phone number, they knew their name. That's all information that's easily obtained through public information. We encourage people, don't give them any information. If they continue, then call your local police department, report the activity so that we can put a stop to it. But by all means, never give them any money and never give them any personal information. Even if you think that might be legitimate, tell them that you'll look the number up and you'll call them back. A legitimate government agency or business that might be calling, they're not going to have any problem with that at all. If they give any pushback, that's a red flag. These people, legitimate businesses aren't going to care if you look their number up and make sure you're doing your homework to make sure you know who you're talking to.
Because as you said, the IRS is not going to call you, or they're going to send a letter and you're going to be notified by mail.
You're going to be notified by mail in an official capacity. You're going to be given an opportunity to appear before someone or have an appointment with someone, a legitimate agent of the IRS or the U.S. Treasury. They don't make phone calls and
or email.
effectively extort money.
Yeah.
Yes, they don't work through email.
Yeah.
They don't work over the phone. So, but literally hundreds of phone calls just in the past couple of days.
So should you call the police, John, if you get that phone call from the IRS, or should you just hang up? Or what's the best thing to do?
If you've handled the call appropriately and you haven't given them any information and you haven't given them any money, unfortunately, I hate to say this, but there's not a whole lot with the way these operations work. There's not a whole lot that we can do as the Centerville Police Department. You can notify the Ohio Attorney General's office of the call, and they do have a mechanism to track those the best they can. But most of these calls are coming from outside of the country, and that's where we kind of lose our ability to really do anything. You can be assured that there are agencies out there looking into this. It's just the Centerville Police Department's not going to be that agency.
And especially, I think it's good to share amongst your friends and family so that everybody's aware, because some of these people on the phone are very persuasive and really sell a good story.
They are very good at what they do. I mean, when you think if you sit and do something all day long for weeks at a time, eventually you're going to get pretty good at it, and you're going to be able to anticipate the questions that people ask. You're going to be able to phrase the information you have in such a way that they feel like the person receiving the call feels like, hey, this is the real deal. But I always tell people, if you didn't initiate that phone call, if you didn't initiate it and you don't know who you're talking to, give them no information. And like I said, go back to find a number yourself. Don't take a number that they give you. Find a number yourself for a legitimate, whether it be the IRS or any other, however they're representing themselves, and you make that phone call. But don't take any of their information, because you just can't trust it.
Something else, too, that I want to talk about, because there's so much all the time in the media about police and how relations with police. And one program that we have, which is so outstanding, is our Citizens Police Academy. I know you just graduated a class, but this is a really good place to go to learn the truth about how the Centerville Police Department operates anyway.
Yes, I think me personally, I believe it's the best program we have out there as far as public outreach. It's a 12-week program. We have another class beginning January 13th that will run through the end of March. It's one night a week, 3 hours, so it's on Wednesday evenings from 6:30 to 9:30. And we give the public an opportunity to get a view behind the scenes and get a realistic look at how we actually do things and why we do things the way we do. Entertainment media and the news media have painted such a different picture as to what we actually do.
Sure,
it's just it's completely unrealistic, especially on the entertainment side. So many people don't realize how we do things or why we do things the way we do, and this is a great opportunity. I mean, we talk about you name it. We talk about crash investigations, internal investigations, drug investigations, crime scene investigations, all those different things. So we really try to give you a good look at how we do things, and you get a chance to meet the police officers, and you get a chance to know and build that trust.
So for people who are interested, they should either stop by the Centerville Police Department and pick up an application, right?
Yes, we have applications in the lobby, or if you would like to call the police department and ask for me, I can always get a hold of you, and we can work out getting you one of those applications.
And that number would be 433-7661. John, thank you very much for the information. For more information, you can always visit our website, centervilleohio.gov, or give us a call at 433-7151. Thanks for watching.